Obviously it is also a matter for the Australian Federal Police, and obviously I know Mr Broad will cooperate with the Australian Federal Police to contact the Australian Federal Police about the allegations that had been made by him and against him. And so I think that's the right course of action, and we'll see what the AFP comes up with as a result of these investigations.
When did he tell you?
A couple of weeks ago.
Did you do anything about it at the time?
Yes, I told him to contact the Australian Federal Police, which he did.
Were taxpayer funds used to entertain him?
That's a question you'd have to ask Andrew Broad. I don't believe so, but that is a question you'll have to put to Mr Broad.
Why shouldn't from Cabinet? Should he also resign from Parliament?
Well, again, that's a matter for Mr Broad. At the moment, he has resigned as the Assistant Minister. As far as his seat of Mallee is concerned, that's a matter for Mr Broad, and let's see how the AFP investigations. Let's see what let's see what they come up with.
So, if there is the AFP investigation comes back that there has been a crime committed against him, would you advise him to stay in his seat?
Well, again, that is hypothetical, and so let's see what the investigations uncover.
So he's alleged that someone the person making the allegations may have engaged in criminal behaviour. What kind of criminal behaviour is that?
Well, I think because it's a matter of investigation, I think that's probably best left to the AFP and their investigations. I don't want to say anything that might impede those investigations at this point in time.
So, I mean, you said you found out 2 weeks ago. Should you have done more than just tell him to go to the police? Weren't you concerned about his conduct at all?
Well, again, I say I urged him to go to the AFP. The AFP is investigating it. Fact is, they're very diligent, they're very earnest, and they will uncover if there has been impropriety done. They will uncover that, but Mr Broad has made the right decision this morning when I accepted his resignation. I want to make sure that all of my ministers, all of my members are always doing the right thing. The National Party stands for better regional services. We do what is right for regional Australia, and these sorts of things, they take away from the good message that we are selling. We have been a very good government. Today, with the mid-year economic fiscal outlook, they're a very, very good set of numbers, a set of numbers that Labor could only dream of producing. We have been a good government. This is an unnecessary distraction against the message that we are selling. Today, I've been at the Royal Far West facility opening in Manly, which will provide such good outcomes for the health and education of kids from the bush who need it. Well, all those sorts of regional outcomes will be gone under a Labor government, and that's why I'm so determined to make sure that my ministers, my members, are doing the right thing. That's why I've accepted Andrew Broad's resignation as Assistant Minister. That's why I'm getting on with the job of making sure that whether it's a road safety message, whether it's a regional funding program, it gets delivered, and delivered strongly. That's what I'm focused on, that's what I'm doing, and I do expect my ministers and my members to do the right thing.
Mr Broad was one of the first people to criticise Barnaby Joyce. Is he a hypocrite?
Well, you'd have to ask him that question.
Who will replace him as Assistant Minister?
Well, again, it's only just happened today. I'll be thinking about that over the Christmas period, and we might have more to say that after the New Year.
So he only submitted his resignation today, or?
Yes.
Did he say anything about the allegations when you spoke to him today, when he accepted his resignation?
No, he didn't. It was a very short and polite conversation. I have accepted his resignation. It's the right thing to do. We need to get on and focus on the people who matter most to us. They're the constituents, and whether it's Mallee or wherever it is, we need to make sure that they are being well served. They have been well served by our government. Lowest tax rate in 78 years. We're getting on with the job of rolling out the water infrastructure that the country has needed for many, many years. We're getting on with the job of building a better Australia. We're getting on with delivering road safety messages. They're the sorts of things I want to be focused on, not these sorts of issues that, quite frankly, distract from otherwise what has been a very good government and is a good government and will be a good government going forward.
You learned of this a few weeks ago. When did the Prime Minister learn of it?
You'd have to ask him that. Honestly, I don't know.
Did you advise Mr Broad to speak to the Prime Minister in the last few weeks?
I did.
Who referred the allegations to the AFP?
I believe Mr Broad did, on my insistence that he do so.
On a slightly different issue, why hasn't the staff who sent the abusive text report been sacked?
Sorry, you'll have to say that a bit louder.
Why hasn't the staffer who sent those abusive text messages to a reporter being sacked?
Well, he's been stood aside. There are circumstances in relation to that matter which he needs to seek assistance, and he is seeking assistance with. The fact is, it was an accidental and inadvertent sending of that message to the journalist. I know the journalist. I know Annika Smethurst, and I have had a number of discussions with her when I found out about the issue late Friday. I appreciate the fact that when you look at the texts that were sent to her, you can understand that they were not meant for her. But look, I don't condone in any way, shape or form the language, the vile language that was used in those texts. That's not the way I operate. That's not the way the National Party operates, and I'm very, very disappointed that it did occur. Annika knows that. She knows that what we stand for as a party and what I stand for as a leader. That's why the person concerned has been stood aside. He will seek the assistance he needs, and that's the appropriate course of action.
Is he being paid while he's on indefinite leave?
Well, anybody who is getting counselling and assistance in the normal course of employment gets paid while they're seeking that assistance.
Does the National Party have a
Sorry, does the
National Party have a problem with women?
No, not at all. And I've spoken with Bridget McKenzie a number of times today. She's appalled with what's happened over the last couple of days. But Bridget McKenzie and Michelle Landry are outstanding female representatives of the constituencies that they serve. We have a strong Women's Council doing wonderful things to make sure that women are encouraged to join our party and encouraged to run as members of Parliament. And on Saturday I was in Wagga Wagga for the pre-selection of McKenna Powell, who is an outstanding candidate for that state seat. I want to encourage any women to not only join our party but indeed to run for political office. It's a tough job running for political office and making sure that we do the right thing to serve the people who we do. It's a tough gig to put your hand up for public life, but I'm glad that so many women are putting their hand up for public life, and I'm glad that the National Party are doing good things to encourage more women to do just that. I've got Steph Cook, the member for Cootamundra in my own electorate, doing outstanding things for the people of the Riverina and the southwest New South Wales. So we will continue to encourage women, and if you have a look at the sorts of things that we've done to encourage more women to join our party, they are very admirable, and we will continue to do that.
Could these scandals undo some of that work to encourage women?
Well, they're an unfortunate distraction. Yes, I'll agree to that, and I'm doing my very best as leader to make sure that we're focused on the people we serve, to make sure that we stop focusing on ourselves. We do the right thing. We make sure that we are, answerable and accountable, and that's why I've taken the swift and decisive action I have over the past 24 hours, and I'll continue to make sure that I lead a party that encourages women to not only join our party but also put their hand up for public life.
Can we ask if it was?
That's Deputy Prime Minister Michael McCormack there, and he's also head of the Nationals Party, speaking in Sydney about the resignation of his Assistant Minister Andrew Broad today. That was after allegations of inappropriate behaviour. That's